is Trish. In this video, I will be unboxing, well, not unboxing because I've already opened the box. I will be showing the contents of the Gods and War box curated by The Literary Culture, which is a Philippine-based book merchandise box company created by my friend Donna. As the artist and designer involved in this box, I will also be sharing and talking about the creative process that went through the making of the Poppy War TLC covers.
Hi, Editing Trish here. I just wanted to share that the Literary Culture will be restocking the Poppy War boxes, so you will have the option of purchasing either just the dust jackets or the full collection box. The pre-order window will only be up for 3 days, and after that it will be closed and it's done, like done. So make sure to go to the Literary Culture's Instagram page, which I will be linking in the description box below, so that you can pre-order.
But let's start with the merchandise because I've been keeping them in my office for days now, and it's taken all of my self-control and willpower to not open them and use them. But I'm not really known for my self-control, so I've actually already used one of the items in the box, and that is the I Am a God ceramic mug designed by Donna herself. I love mugs and I like acting like a rich bitch. So this collection exclusive mug was practically made for me and the 60 other people that ordered the box. And since I've already shown the mug, it only makes sense for me to next show the coffee, because this box has the Sinigard hazelnut flavored coffee. Yes, the Sinigard hazelnut flavored coffee, locally produced in Sinigard. These coffee beans grew from the soil, watered by that magic stream that Rin hiked up a mountain for 2 hours every day with a pig strapped on her back. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Sinigard hazelnut flavored coffee was actually produced by Garcia Farms in the Cordillera region in the Philippines. I'm not really a big coffee person because I'm more of a Milo girl, but with a mug like this and coffee like this,
para kanino ka bumabangon?
Ako? Para sa aking one and only. Ako. The next item in this box is the Dragon Republic scented alcohol made by Center J. The sticker on the packaging was designed by Donna, and I'm just going to lay this down right now. Everything in the box, except for the covers, was arranged and designed by Donna. I've been getting a lot of praise for the work I did on the covers, and I'm really grateful, like, haba na yung hair ko. But I don't think Donna gets enough credit for her creative hand in this box. Everything from the cards to the stickers on the packaging to the social media posts were designed by Donna. And for a one-woman team to be doing so much creative work on top of the finance and the math work that she has to do, she's doing an amazing job. Donna, kalerki ka. Going back to the scented alcohol, this came at a perfect time for me. I'm very particular with the way that I smell. I could go out of the house looking like a complete clown, and that will be alright as long as I smell good. And during a time like this, it's important for me to not only smell good, but also stay safe. So this is hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Also, I'd like to think that this is how Neja would smell like, and who doesn't want to smell like Neja? You know Neja's got that rich boy smell. The next item in the box is the Psych tote bag. The bag has the names of the Unholy Trinity on one side, and on the other side are the names of all the Psych members. Psych members, not Psych members, although all of them need therapy at some point. The design is simple and sleek, and the bag is big enough to fit 1 hardback book, your wallet, makeup, bottle of tequila, all your hopes and dreams, as well as the expectations of everyone around you. So you'll always look fashionable despite the weight that you carry on your shoulders. The next item in this box is a pretty war quote keychain that says, "War determines who remains." A good daily reminder for me to get my shit together, be proactive, destroy my enemies, break their bones, drink their blood, and use their ashes as face powder. And last but not least are the Poppy War TLC covers. They came in an empty kitchen towel tube. I'm kidding. They actually came in an extra large 3-ply bathroom roll tube. So these covers were printed in UK and US size, and they also came with some postcards of characters. Now if you're wondering, Trish, your Poppy War cover looks weird. That's actually because I didn't know that my Poppy War copy was US size and not UK size like the others. And if there's anyone to blame, really, it's the publishers. They didn't let me know. This is my channel. I'm always right here. So I guess I'm going to start with how I ended up being part of the project. So yes, how did I become part of this project? Well, the answer is simple. nepotism. Actually, one day Donna asked us if we knew any local artists that we could recommend to do some illustration work for her for this Poppy War project. And while I was sending her portfolios of my artist friends and some other artists that I knew, she was also sending me references of how she wanted the Poppy War covers to look like. And as I was looking at these references, I actually thought that I could do this. And I really did plan on sending Donna my portfolio to apply formally, but I hesitated because I was overthinking a lot of things. Like, what if Donna doesn't like my art style? What if Donna has already found an artist and things become awkward? What if I'm way in over my head and I can't actually realize her vision? You know, the usual self-depreciating anxiety. So I decided to apply and send my portfolio later in the week if Donna still hadn't found anyone. But out of the blue, Donna messaged me and asked, "Hey Trish, can you draw this?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, why don't you do it then?" And I said, "Okay then." And that, kids, is how I made your covers. But if I were to do a number pie graph thingy of my creative process, I would say that it was 20% research, 20% Donna and I talking about her dog, 20% Donna spoiling me about the Dragon Republic and the Burning God, 30% me actually doing illustration work, and 10% me overthinking. I'm kidding, it was actually 50% me overthinking. So after me and Donna got the specifics of the project done and clarified, I then went to research. And Donna was pretty detailed, pretty clear about what she wanted from the covers. So my research really didn't dwell on that. Instead, my research was more about me finding existing illustrations and design work that could inspire me. And after my research, I started conceptualizing. So Donna had this concept that each of the covers would represent a character and each would have an element that would be tied to that character. For Rin, it was fire. For Neja, it was the dragon. And for Kitai, it was the phoenix. So I really had to conceptualize around that vision. The front covers were pretty much the easiest to conceptualize and draft because, like I said, it was pretty straightforward. The back cover was where Donna really gave me creative freedom to interpret her vision. So the first drafts that I sent Donna had two versions of the back cover. The first version was the characters in this sort of power stance along with their elements. So they all had the same poses with their elements, Rin with her fire, Neja with the dragon, and Kitai with the phoenix. And I just wanted them to look really badass and imposing and intimidating. For the second version of the first draft, I wanted to be able to show more of their character. So I actually drew all three of them in this defensive, crouching combat stance, but I wanted them to exude a different mood or a different reaction because Rin, Neja, and Kitai are very different characters and they would definitely react differently in a situation. So when I drew Rin, I wanted to show anger. I wanted her to exude this fury. And when I drew Neja in his stance, I wanted him to have this sort of fierce determination, like this coolness to him. And with Kitai, I wanted him to show this somber resignation, like these aren't necessarily things he wants to do, but he has to do it. And of these two versions, Donna actually really liked the idea of them being in a combat stance, but she wanted them to be more fluid and more alive. And so she sent me some reference poses to assign to each character. And from those poses came the third version of the first draft. And this version would actually become the final rendered covers. So after Donna approved the first draft, the next step for me was inking the illustrations. And inking is a very arduous and detailed process. As an artist, I personally like knowing what happens to the characters, so that I know what details I have to put in to my illustrations. At this point, I had only finished the Poppy War and I was only in chapter 4 in the Dragon Republic, so I really didn't know what happened to the characters, especially with Neja and Kitai. And I think it was important for me to know, especially with Neja's case, as I will later find out that something happened to him that physically affected his characteristics. And so I actually did ask Donna to spoil me about what happened in the Dragon Republic and the Burning God. Like, that part of the pie graph thing earlier was not a joke. I actually did ask her to spoil me, and she did. And this whole part of the process was actually really funny and really chaotic, because when I approached Dawn and asked her to spoil me, she was, "Girl, are you sure you want me to spoil you?" And I was, "Girl, do you want these covers or not?" Well, and then she spoiled me. And it was funny because for the first few minutes, we were very detached, we were very objective, like, okay, this is what happens to Neja, this is what happens to Tai, oh, so that's what happened to him. And I was jotting down the details that I knew what to draw. And then it finally hit me that, what do you mean that's what happened to Kitai? It was a very chaotic process. So knowing more about what happened to the characters, I was able to ink the illustrations with more detail. And of all the covers, the Dragon Republic was the hardest, most detailed one. I actually drew the scales on the dragon by hand, one by one, because I didn't like how those pre-made scale brushes I got online looked. It didn't fit well with me, so I decided to just draw them one by one. And after I completed Dragon for both the front and the back covers, my right hand gave up. My right hand said, my shift is done, I'm going to die now. And I couldn't move my right hand for the rest of the night. But I think the hard work really paid off, because I know I'm not supposed to play favorites with my children, but of the 3 covers, I really do have a preference for the Dragon Republic one. Overall, I think it's the strongest one of the 3. But for the back cover, I have to say Rin is my favorite back cover to draw. She's just so expressive, she's just so angry, and there's just something about Rin and her anger that makes me feel things. So after I finished inking the illustrations, I had Donna look at it and approve it. When I work, I make milestones for myself, and for each milestone, I have Donna check my work, because I think it's easier for me to have Donna give her feedback during stages when it's still easy for me to make changes and adjustments, instead of doing my work to completion, sending it to her, and having to adjust when everything is done. It's just, I think that's harder for me to do. So after I finished with the inking, the next step for me is coloring and rendering the illustrations. The Poppy War covers actually went through 4 revisions before it arrived to its final printed stage. And for each of those revisions, me and Donna really worked side by side. It was a really fun and collaborative process. What I really liked about working with Donna was that she was very detailed, she was very precise, she made things clear, but also she gave me the room to be creative. And as an artist, I personally like that. I like knowing what I have to work with and what I have to do on the get-go. So after I fully finished the illustrations, I then did mock-ups for the cover. And when me and Donna first planned the covers, our 2 options was actually a fire motif or another one with this sort of watercolor mountain motif. And those were the first versions of the print ready cover that I sent her. And then overnight, I was thinking, because I didn't really feel very satisfied with it, and I told her, I have an idea and I'll send it over to you tomorrow. And I sent her these covers, the ones with the line motifs. And when she saw it, she said, wait, hold up, this changes everything. And so we worked around this new motif for the covers. We added elements, we added the coats, and things were really starting to line up completely. And so when the cover was finally finalized and approved, I made product mock-ups for Donna so that she could have something to post on social media. And then she sent the covers to the printer, and here we are. So that was my creative process. I'm sorry if I don't really go too deep in the details. I'm not used to talking about how I work, so I don't really know how to explain it or what goes through my head as I do it. But what I will say is, and not to get emotional on camera here, and I told Donna this as well, this was one of the most rewarding experiences for me as an artist. I really haven't drawn seriously since the pandemic started, and this is the first time that I've actually seen my work and not regret anything. Like, I see these covers and I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of what me and Donna were able to come up with, and being able to draw for a series that I really, really like, featuring characters that I adore. It was a very exhilarating experience. I was happy and passionate all the way through. Yeah, I just want to thank Donna for giving me this opportunity. Oh, wow, interview ka, girl. And as well as everyone who's been complimenting my work and what I've done. Is shy po ako, I don't want na. Pero seriously, I really do appreciate all the kind words that you guys have said to me and my work. So that is it for this video, and please support the Literary Culture. They are such an innovative and creative company, and they put out so many good merchandise out there, so it's really worth your money. That is it for my video, and see you next time.